Chaos is a good sign. I think your video will get viral. You don't deserve me, darling. You don't deserve me in your life. I've also met people who can be termed as cheaters and dishonest, but I must think to that negative community because they are the real helpers.
This is a debatable question. But what do you think? Can we change people? Let's suppose your partner, your parents, my student said, ma'am, if we cannot change others, how Anushka changed Virat? I love to be a busy bee. That's how I feel. And the only
Yes.
reason behind this is I believe being busy is a blessing. And as you mentioned, empty mind is a devil's workshop. So because I have experience. Ritu ma'am, are you aware of this term that we call as midlife crisis?
Mm. It happened. I mean, this is something which we can't avoid, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So,
But over time, I have started comparing with those who are not, I can't say downtrodden, but who didn't have that kind of opportunities.
hmm,
So I feel myself to be the blessed one. Like I'm talking to you, this is a blessing in disguise.
hmm,
This is how I struggled a lot with myself. I always say, and just now I also mentioned the same thing. If you want to struggle, struggle with yourself. If you want to compete, compete with yourself. If you want to make yourself the best, then be a better version of yourself. Listen to others completely because a good observer is the best learner from where you will get that kind of knowledge. And in those days, there were libraries. So I used to go to the library on the regular basis. And definitely, I used to issue a book of my choice. This is something I want to interrupt before I continue with my conversation, that always choose the book of your choice. That is why people are not into reading nowadays. First of all, they waste a lot of time on social media for sure. Second important thing, they choose the wrong book. After reading 2, 3 pages, if you feel like it is not for you, just don't throw it away, but just keep it on the shelf and try to read only those books which definitely attracts you towards itself. So this is, I mean, don't compete with others because somebody have bought that book. I need to just buy that book. It is not like that. Just go according to your choices. Life is very short to nag about. This is one thing. You asked me about the motivation. This statement is the motivation. And every day, whenever I feel down or whenever I feel burnt out, I always remind myself of this fact that life is ephemeral. Nothing is perfect. Nothing is, you can say, under control. Everything that is happening, even our meeting is destined. Then why to panic? Just keep yourself the life. Just I mean to say that just lead a low key life. Make yourself the better version instead of investing time in others' affairs. Mind your own business. And that is the concept because I have learned over time. So
absolutely.
yes.
And although some people they want to keep this thing private and they don't often discuss about this midlife crisis, I got to hear it from someone else. My masis, my buas, they are all in this age group. My aunt. So they talked about it, and if I think about it, I find it real. Midlife crisis for someone who is not aware, it is the age of 40s to 50s when we find ourselves totally confused about our goals, about our life, about our path. Where are we going? What am I doing? And we feel like, okay, now I don't have that much time left to do such some great things, and we are in the crisis. The imbalance is there. I want to do something, but I'm unable to find what to do. So that's how the situation is, and it's real. So at this stage, people give up. Okay, let's leave because now what will I do at this stage? And starting something at that stage is commendable. So when I see this hard work that you are putting in and the kind of effort you are making, It's appreciable. That's how I asked this question. How do you motivate yourself? And you gave a wonderful answer. Right.
Thank you so much.
And what was the previous question? I forgot. What was that?
You asked something that how do you motivate
Hmm.
yourself?
That you answered.
Something like
Was there some other question
yes.
as well?
I answered. I answered.
Okay. All right. So let's move to the next question. The next question is that what do you think? Okay, let's keep it for the last, okay? Because I don't know how much time we have. The question is, how was this year for you? Since we are almost around the corner and this December will pass in a heartbeat. So I want you to just reflect and tell me how was this year for you? What was that defining moment? What was the highlight of this year? And of course, what was that low phase of this year? All three
Oh
questions.
wow. Wow. Critical question. I'll try my level best to answer your question. Actually, I was, to be very honest, I was not expecting this year to go well, so brilliant for me. And this year, I will never forget in my lifetime because this year gave me something that I was looking for a long time. It gave me my beautiful virtual family, first of all. So I'm so thankful for all the YouTubers, to all my learners, to all my participants who gave me an opportunity to connect with them. I never worried about money, to be very honest. When I didn't have that kind of money, even then, even now. Because money is the last thing that I care for. Not because definitely people will comment because, ma'am, you have that kind of money. It's not like that. There were days, Winnie, when I only had two outfits. I was happy because I never worry about that. I am a kind of person who lives in the present. If I am happy today, I am happy. If I am hungry and I have food to eat, I am happy. I don't worry about the past, what has happened. So let bygones be bygones. But the worst part is that I have also met people who can be termed as cheaters and dishonest. But I must thank to that negative community because they are the real helpers. They helped me to come out of my weak aura of personality. And here I am, the strongest one in front of you. Because negative, you must thankful to the negative people in your life because they are responsible to make you the strongest. So, yes, these are the answers to your question. I have tried my level best to answer, but this year is the ultimate one. I got everything that I dreamt of. I am a teacher, I am a good person, I am not a cheater, I am not a dishonest, I am running my YouTube channel. So, this year gave me everything. So, no regrets.
Okay. All right. And okay, so since you talked about dishonesty, right? Let's make it general because we come across such people, right? Every now
Hmm.
and then, in not just professionally, in our day to day life as well, right? So, ma'am, let's suppose if you are good to people and you are confident that I was honest, I was on the right track, the other person cheated, and the other person is close to you. How to deal with that
Hmm.
situation?
Only one mantra that has worked and has been working till date is ignore. Yes, I
Distance.
completely ignore that person, right? That person doesn't exist for me in my life. The more I think about that person, the worst is going to happen to me because definitely I am keeping that person in my mind, if not in my heart. Ultimately, it's affecting me. So I withdraw. I just join my hands in front of that person. Okay, now you don't exist, whosoever he or she may be. I give value to myself. It is not narcissist. Sometimes people they confuse between self love and narcissist. I'm not a narcissist. I have started caring about myself because of some bad experiences, obviously. Because this is known as maturity level, right? When you start understanding what kind of person you are interacting with, are they deserving or not? Sometimes people, why they feel bad? They feel bad because they think that they are not a deserving candidate in that person's life. Think it the other way, vice versa. It may be the situation that they don't deserve you. Why you always think like that about you? I always think like that. They don't deserve me. They don't deserve me, darling. You don't deserve me in your life. So that is why I keep myself away from these kind of people, because definitely when I keep on thinking about these toxic people, it will affect my work, it will affect my family life, if it will affect my overall personality, and I don't want to do that at any cost. So I keep it very simple. And everybody in my family, in my relatives, everybody knows about this, you can say, strength or weakness of my person.
All right. Ma'am, what if that person is really close to you, let's say a family member? Then how to distance, how to ignore? You become helpless at times.
Hmm. To invest less time with these kind of people as much as possible. You have to interact, as you have already mentioned, that that particular person may be the closest to you and you are living under the same roof. How can you avoid that person? So come in contact with that person, but for a very, say, for a couple of minutes or a couple of seconds. Try to not ignore, but try to drive yourself away from that person, because ultimately that person's negative aura is affecting you. Either you can read, meditate, yoga, and
Hmm.
try to just surrender to yourself, surrender to the Almighty. That is the only rescue I have experienced, and I'm doing the same.
All right. Okay, since time won't permit, I'll be asking some quick questions. Okay. Let's see how many are we going to cover. Although I wanted to wrap up here only, but just couple of questions. All right. So, ma'am, what was the okay? It went. Sorry. Mhm. It just came. The question was, how can it go? Okay. Ma'am, so sorry.
No problem, no problem. It happens. It's a very common situation.
Because when you speak, that question arises, right? And now you stop speaking, it went. What was that question? Mm, let me meditate. It was something related to this only, like managing people, self love. It was an amazing question. That is the reason I wanted to extend. Mm. Okay, I'll ask some other question. Okay, maybe meanwhile that may come. so
Yes, yes, why not?
So, ma'am, here I have this question. Since we are sailing in the same boat, we have this access to people, we are on these social platforms, and you talked about the advantage. Do you think there is something that's a disadvantage of being here? A short answer?
Yeah, sometimes we feel stressed. Like you have responsibilities, being a YouTuber, you need to upload your content on the regular basis, and you have to follow the algorithm pattern of YouTube as well. So yes, sometimes I didn't feel like to even shoot my video and upload, so let alone editing, but I need to. So sometimes I feel burnout, but the results make me happy, and the idea, the thought that my viewers may be waiting for my next upload, that make me again back to desk. And this is how I try to manage everything I love, because otherwise, you can say an idle mind is a devil's workshop. So I try to keep myself as busy as possible. Basically, I'm a busy bee. So to work 24/7 is my cup of tea. So I love to work.
I love, yeah, same. I love to be a busy bee. That's how I feel. And the only
Yes.
reason behind this is I believe being busy is a blessing. And as you mentioned, empty mind is a devil's workshop. So I have, because I have experienced it. and now I have come out of it. So it's one of the best phases of my life. I don't know how our future is going to be and how life unfolds, but as of now, I'm enjoying. The question is, now the question comes, ma'am. A quick answer. We hardly have a few more minutes. Do you think this is a debatable question? But what do you think? Can we change people? Let's suppose your partner, your parents, your in laws, your friends, or someone. If you think that person is not compatible and sometimes you find it difficult to be with them, and all we try to talk about is you should do this or you should do that. We try to suggest, right? We try to change them. Do you think, is it possible to change others?
But my cross question here is why to change? Why to worry for? You can never change. You will spend the rest of your life in changing them. So don't worry. As I've already mentioned in the beginning, always you can only change one person, and that is you. So don't worry about others. We are neither the creators nor the destroyers of the universe. And we can't do anything. Even we can't change our own children. So why to worry about the other relatives? So let's keep it very simple. Change yourself according to yourself, not according to others. Make yourself happy. If speaking English makes you happy, speak English. If cooking makes you happy, cook. If going out makes you happy, do something for yourself. Because since childhood, we have been doing those activities which had made others happy. So it is the high time to do something that makes you happy. And life is very short. Never forget it. Tomorrow never comes is so true. We can't foresee what is going to happen the next second, and we start worrying about the next day. So keep it very simple, very honest, and kind. Be kind, be charitable, and be honest to yourself. It will give you an honest smile on your face when you hit the sack, to be very honest.
Wow, that's an amazing, not just an amazing answer, but it's a reminder, because I keep reminding myself why to change others, why to think about changing others. And I had this discussion, and I would like to give you a quick answer. It turned out to be a debate. So I asked my student, "What do you think? Is it possible to change others?" I said, "I think we cannot." This was my answer. I think we cannot. My student said, "Ma'am, if we cannot change others, how Anushka changed Virat?" So this was
These
the
are the say the childish fancies. So it depends on the age group also. What do they think? And they're so curious now at this age. They want to ask their teachers about all these stuff, but they will learn over time,
so this example.
experience, and yeah. And our life is the biggest teacher. It will teach you everything, no matter what.
See, I have learned only with experience, only with this journey, that we cannot change others. It's better to change yourself, invest in yourself, and just make yourself as busy as possible. That's the mantra we
Yes.
should live upon. So, with that, of course, this conversation needs extension, but time won't permit us. And I must say, it's not just a day to day conversation, it's a kind of motivational podcast for me, ma'am. Not just for our learners, for viewers, also for me. And don't worry.
Chaos is a good sign. I think your video will get viral.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And thank you for
Okay.
this
Bye bye.
and your precious words. Hope to see you very
Thank
soon.
you. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you so much, ma'am.